Hey, welcome out to the advisory report. It is June 24th, 2026. As you can see, our market regime gauges continue to be the same as we made the adjustment earlier in the week. We are in an uncertain neutral market as price continues to just hold in between the 20-day EMA and above the 50-day SMA. The intermediate trend remains bullish. The short-term trend is bearish because we're below the 20-day. Does look like we're getting a bit of a pump after hours here. It looks like the SP500 futures are up 0.5% right now after being down with the price pushing the top of the 50-day moving average. We'll take a look at the charts in a second, but we remain offensive in our positioning, but not fully offensive. We do have a little bit of defense going on just because it's a little bit uncertain. But if the market turns back up and moves higher, we'll go back fully offensive. So, and when I say we are partially defensive, for an example, in our aggressive portfolio, we are 90% offense, 10% defense. So that's a little bit about how we're positioned. Looking at the intermediate trend, we are, like I said, we're still bullish. Price is definitely above the 30-week moving average, so we need to take everything with a bullish bias. Let's go on over to the short-term chart. Looking at the S&P 500 today, you can see, if I just kind of zoom in maybe a little bit further here, price closes right around where it did yesterday, but not the best of candles. And to have these back-to-back, you're looking at a situation like this where your expectation would be maybe it's going to finally crack the 50-day and move a little bit lower. Of course, I said we're getting a pump after hours right now, so we'll see how that plays out tomorrow. Really, we need to get above this zone to be more offensive, and we need to go below this zone right here to be more defensive. So we're in a spot where if we were just to go sideways, we're holding our current allocations. Let's go ahead and look at what we were looking at today. We're going to pull in the intraday. And here is, well, let's go down to this one. Here is the 5-minute chart. And you can see the gap down. This would be Monday. You can see Monday down here, the gap down. Then you can see price coming near the 50-day and just kind of getting into this back and forth zone all day long. Price today made an attempt to get after the 20-day, couldn't quite make it, rejected down. And then this is the 50-day moving average. It's just, price is just sitting there, tries to lift off, comes down, goes even further, ends up closing above. But you know, you just see this range and you just think maybe it's a stair, maybe it's a stair step down. So we'll see what happens. Like I said, if it turns back up, we'll erase that little bit of defense that we have and get back offensive. But we're positioned where we want to be positioned just in case a little bit more of a fall kind of happens. We want to protect some of those gains that we've made over the last few months. Let's jump up over to Market Lens. Let's look at what we have in the ultra aggressive portfolio. Like I said, we have MU today. Came down to the 20-day, came back up, and now is, let's see where price is after hours, looking like we are at 1190. So right here, almost into new highs. This is after hours. You can't see it on the chart, but I'm looking at an after hour price of about 1190 right now. So we'll see what happens. Of course, that can just fade off, and by the time we open, we could be even lower as the earnings, earnings is very unpredictable and volatile, but that'll be good for the ultra aggressive portfolio tomorrow if that does open up. Flex, we still have this one. Once again, came down to the 20-day, came back up, and that one really looks like it wants to go higher. MRVL, probably getting a push after hours from MU. Let's see what MRVL, MRVL looks like it's at about 288 right now after hours. So a come down test to the 20-day was bought up. That's a very positive looking candle. And 288 is trading, looks like after hours, right about right here. So we'll see how that works out. Crowd, Was in a consolidation, remains in that consolidation. We'll see if this one wants to flip back out. Also, if things start to get positive in the market, we'll see how that pans out. Let's look at a couple others while we're just looking at stocks right now. Let's go on over here. I'll look at SpaceX. Really starting to set up. We had that big, nice, I think it's probably about 50%-ish move up. The pullback, finding some support. Looks like today's day traded inside of yesterday's day. So a turn back up here above either today's high or yesterday's high might be a good spot. We're looking at that one now. Okta looking very constructive. A nice run up, I would say, from about this spot right here, $84 up to $140, so not quite a double in about a month. Now pull back, consolidating. We'll see if this one wants to loop back up. Eli Lilly, of course, they have I think it's the GLP-1 drug that has been doing wonders for people, it seems like. That one had ripped, pulled down to the 20-day, caught support. Looks like it wants to turn back up. We'll see kind of how it acts tomorrow. Twilio, which we had in the portfolio about a couple of weeks ago. In fact, I remember we caught a bunch of this run up, and then we had to dial it back as it came back in. Came even lower, but is finding support at the same spot it found support there before, and now kind of this 50-day moving average is there. So we'll see if this one wants to turn back up. Just keeping an eye on that for now. And then IonQ, very constructive looking base here from April till June, a nice $32 to $72-ish. So a double, now pulling back on the 50-day moving average. See if that wants to turn back up and continue. A big cup and handle looking base also. Okay, that's what I got for you today. Take care. Have a wonderful afternoon. We'll be right back at it tomorrow.